Hey there. So we're in kind of morning daytime. Got my coffee in the travel mug. Got the computer running. So it must be work. No, it's not work. It's Casino Companions. Yay. All right. So, guys, we are starting up a little video channel here. I originally thought about doing this, guys, as a podcast, but the problem with podcasts is you got to pay for it. Nah, we're not doing that. We're cheap. In fact, we're going to talk about that later, about why I'm cheap. But for right now, we are going to be Casino Companions. And hopefully you can see a number of these. All right, so who am I? I am Doc B. All right, so we'll talk later about what kind of doctor I am. That's fine. But you need to get a hold of me, okay, as will be listed somewhere in the show notes. All right, Casino Companion, no S, all right, at gmail.com. All right, now, what's going on here, guys? What's this all about? So, in particular, what is a casino companion? All right, that is a good question. All right, and when I was putting this together, guys, I was kind of thinking along the lines of, Doctor Who in a way, right? So, Doctor Who, if you ever watch that show, he has companions, or she has companions. All right, what do those guys do? They kind of hang out. All right, they follow around, they offer assistance, they're there, they're not the prime actors, but they're there. So that's kind of actually where this is going, guys. We are going to be a group of people, right, who are casino companions, right? So we go to casinos, but do we go to gamble? Not really, right? Maybe we do a little, okay, but that's really not why we're there, all right? We're really there to show support for our companion, all right? Now, I chose the word companion on purpose. For original, I actually started off saying casino spouse, right? Which is kind of cool. All right. It's actually kind of descriptive. A lot of us probably are spouses of gamblers, right? But when you get down to it, I wanted it more generic. I wanted it because it's much more open than that, right? So companion really just says you don't necessarily have to have a romantic partner who is hauling you to a casino. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's brother or sister. Maybe you're going there with your mom, right? But whoever it is, you have somebody you care about, all right? And because of that, you're going to a casino, all right? And a casino may not be your thing, but you're going to go and you're going to be supportive, all right? So when we talk about this, guys, and I run through these shows together with you, all right, that's always the goal. We're there to be supportive, to be a companion. It doesn't mean you can't be concerned about things and be worried sometimes, because that's life, but we're going to be in this, all right, as supportive companions. So I'll joke around a little bit, sure. I may occasionally say some stuff that sounds kind of mean, all right, but I'm only doing that because I am joking around, all right, that when it comes down to it, we love our companions, whoever they are, right, and we want to be there for them, all right. So that's what's going on here. Now, when I started this up, I listen to a lot of podcasts, all right, and what kind of struck me, guys, is there are tons and tons and tons of podcasts and video channels and web pages and books, okay, all of which deal with gamblers and gambling, right? So there's lots of, I mean, just go into podcast, any your favorite podcast channel, and yeah, just put in gambling. You're going to come up with 20, 30, 40 different ones, okay, all which focus on either gambling itself or the gambling experience. All right, and I'm more than glad to send you to some if you want to. I listen to a number on a routine basis, right? Um, so they're all good, they're fun, okay, but you as a companion are probably not really going to get a lot out of them because no, you don't do what they do. Okay, that's actually more of your companion's thing. It's not really your thing. And when I looked around for kind of, you know, casino companion stuff, no, it's kind of like we don't exist. But we do exist because I meet us whenever I go out to casinos. We're like everywhere, right? Walking around, we got the kids in tow, okay? Or we're hanging out, sometimes by ourselves, okay? Or whatever. But you'll find us all over the place, okay? And there's nobody talking to us or talking about us. So I figured, why not? You know? Now, this actually comes back to one of the first things I talked about, which was being cheap, because I'm literally using note cards made out of paper with a Sharpie. Okay, what's going on there? Well, yeah, I'm a family guy, right? How much money do I really want to put into this? Nothing. I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? I got other things my family needs. Okay, so am I going to go out and pay for um, all the podcasting stuff and a great microphone and uh, all that stuff? No, no. You know, am I going to pay? I'm going to pay and spend all the time to do, video graphics? No, because we all know I'm not going to make money out of this, right? No, if I ever did, it'd be really cool if I actually could say I earned a little bit of money off this, but it's not going to happen. So let's be honest about it and just say we're doing this for fun. All right. So let's sit around, grab our tea, grab our coffee, okay, and just enjoy some companionship. All right. It's kind of funny when you think about it. So we're being companions of companions. That's kind of cool. All right. So there we go. So that's what's going on. You're a casino companion, hopefully, if you've hung out this long. And so am I. And we're going to talk about what the life is like, what the experience is like, and ways that you can make it more fun, okay, for you, how to be more supportive, okay, and, how to be you. All right. So that's cool. Now, when we start this up, new card, okay, we got a word of the day. Woo, you're back in school. Love it. Okay, because as you'll figure out eventually, I am a school teacher in my real life. So no big surprise. We got vocabulary. Woo, there we go. So fiduciary. Woo, cool. That is the word of today. Fiduciary. Okay. Now, that sounds kind of cool, doesn't it? And so we're going to lead off by saying, I am not your fiduciary. You're like, that sounds a little kinky. By the way, this is always going to be a family-oriented show, unless I warn you in advance. All right. So I probably won't be doing tons of dirty jokes. Be calm. Be good. Okay. So what do I mean, though, if I'm not your fiduciary? And the answer, a fiduciary is a person, okay, or maybe a computer, all right, who gives you financial advice. But key part here, okay, they know your financial situation. So they say they have your bank accounts, or not, they don't have them, but they have records of your bank accounts. They know about your investments. They know about your jobs. Okay. They know about your taxes. So they're like accountants or financial advisors, maybe your tax expert person. Okay. But that's what a fiduciary is one of those people. All right. And the difference here, guys, is they know about you. They know your personal situation. I don't. Okay. Now, I'd love to learn more about you, and that's cool. So you're going to email me if you want to, and that's great. Don't send me your bank account, please. I don't want to know it. All right. But there's no way I can know your exact circumstances, and I am not by any means a person who has taken classes or spent a lot of time learning how to be a financial advisor. All right. Yes, I invest for my family. I've been doing it for years, decades. Okay. And we're going to talk about investments. Cool. But I'm not one of those people that can give you that kind of advice. All right. So key part there, guys, is, again, I am not your fiduciary. All right. So please, please, please don't try to go out and do things I talk about on here and then regret it later. All right. You're expected to go out there, do your homework, talk to your own real fiduciary people, whoever they may be. Okay. And do that before you get in trouble. All right. Now, kind of leads me to one more little segment here, guys, and that's going to be this. Okay. And that's going to be Investing Corner. Woo! All right. So As I mentioned, guys, I've been investing for years. So one part of what we're going to do here is that I'll bring up, you go into casinos, okay, or you do some form of, or your companions into some kind of gambling, okay. And one thing I've learned as an investor over the years is, well, how do you make money out of that? All right. You see something good, you see something that seems to be profitable, and you naturally start thinking, how do I earn some money off that? Okay. And so, yeah, I buy stocks about companies that I feel are really well and so forth. So we're going to talk about some of those. Okay. Now, again, I'm not offering you financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy. Okay. But we'll talk about occasionally stocks of companies involved in gambling. Okay. So you can see, where's that money going? All right. And how could you potentially earn some money off of it? All right. Your family, that is, at least. So today, we're not going to talk about anything individual. We're going to talk about the topic of gambling versus investing. Okay. Gambling versus investing. In some ways, they're similar. All right. So in both cases, you're going to take some money. All right. And you're going to stick it down and you're going to buy something. Could be stocks, could be casino chips, um, could be credits in a slot machine. Okay. You're going to buy something. And then the goal is to earn more money with it. Okay. So in both cases, that's what you're trying to do. Now, that's fine. What's the difference between the two? They're both the same thing, and they're not actually. Okay. So in the case of investing, all right, your goal is to take that money, all right, and you're going to put it into something where you know or you feel very strongly it is likely that you're going to have more money at the end. Okay. And I'm using a lot of qualifying words here, guys. So, and there's a reason for that. All right. You can lose money investing. I've done it. You buy bad stock. You can lose it all. It's possible. But when you buy an investment, you know the odds are in your favor. All right. It's not just a feeling, it's the odds are in your favor. So it's likely. So if you buy a house, you feel it's likely it's going to increase in value. You buy a stock, it's very likely it's going to increase in value. Not true for all stocks, by the way, but for some stocks it's true. All right. So that's one thing we'll talk about, guys, as we run through here. There are some things that are just not worth buying because that likely is not there, which brings us to gambling. What's gambling? Well, in gambling, that's not true. You're gonna buy something. Yes, you're not sure you're gonna walk out with more money than you had. In fact, if you talk to your companion or you talk to other gamblers when you're at the casino, most of them don't think they're going to walk out with more money. They walk in knowing that they're probably going to lose money. And you're like, that sounds kind of weird. But if you think I'm wrong, talk to your spouse or companion. See, I was bad. Talk to your companion. All right. Have a little discussion with them and ask them, when we go to the casino, do you really think you're always going to walk out with more money? And if they're an honest person, they're not delusional, they're going to say, nope, I know I'm probably not coming out there with more money. I may lose it all or I'm going to lose some of it. And what's going through their head then? They know they're going to lose money. From their perspective, it's entertainment. So that's kind of the difference here, guys, is the gambling is entertainment. Investing, not so much. It can be fun, but it's not really going to be entertainment. So investing, you really plan to earn more money. Gambling, if you lose, then you walk out and you say, oh, it's okay, I had fun. And I hear that all the time. I mean, I hear it all the time, both from my own companion, but from other gamblers, is they walk out and they say, oh, it's okay, I lost X amount of money, but I don't mind because I had fun doing it. All right. So for them, it's an entertainment. And that's kind of where that line is. Now, does the line ever blur? And the answer is, oh yeah, it does, all the time. All right. So yeah, you can go buy stocks. All right. And you can just get up in the morning and say, I feel like buying, I don't know, Wally Wally pet food. as a stock. All right. So, the company that makes it, and that's cool. You had no reason to do that. You just had this momentary flash where you said, "Oh, that'd be exciting to buy that stock," and you go do it, and basically you're making a crapshoot. You are gambling at that point because you have no clue. Okay, you have no clue how good that company is. You hadn't looked up any information. It's just totally a random shot whether you'll make money. That's gambling. Okay, and going the other way. Okay, so there actually are professional gamblers. Okay, and if you listen to the podcast, you'll hear from tons of them. Okay, they're professional gamblers who actually, I would say, are almost like investors. They go in knowing that they're likely to make money. There aren't very many of those, by the way. All right, so but there are a few. All right, and what's going on there is that for whatever reason they go in with advanced skills or advanced knowledge, and they know it's very likely they're going to come out with more money than when they started. Okay. Many of these professional poker players, okay, there's some professional video poker players, some people who claim to be professional slot players. All right. But these are people who, for whatever reason, have found a way, all right, to come out ahead. All right. There are very few of those. And if you are a companion one of those, extra kudos to you, okay, because you're probably coming out of this ahead. And so, for your perspective, it's just all fun, which is great. Now, so that was gambling versus investing. That was investing corner this time. Maybe someday I'll get some theme music to go with it. But you know what? I'm still too cheap to do that. So what's going on? All right, last segment I want to talk about here, guys, is going to be the segment I'm going to call What's This? Okay. And so here, guys, we're going to talk about, what are some of the things you see in casinos? Okay. So, or what are some of the people you see in casinos? Because as a casino companion, you may not be spending very much time at all inside gambling yourself. All right. So there may be parts of the casino you're like walking around and you just have no clue what they are. And you're probably not ever going to find out. All right. Because you're not going to ask. All right. And you're not going to play the games or whatever it is. So, yeah, we're going to spend some time with little segments here talking about individual chunks of the casino, okay, environment or the gambling world environment, okay, where we'll try to address, what are these games? What are these things? Who are these people, okay, that you see in this place, okay, as you're walking around trying to just be yourself. All right. So that's what we're going to do. All right. And so hopefully you walk out with a bit more knowledge of what's going on. All right. Sometimes you may be laughing at me saying, I know more than you do. And that's cool. Send me an email. I'd love to hear about it. So today, okay, we're just going to talk about this one. You hear this vocabulary. It's kind of an extra vocabulary words of today. So slots versus table games. Now, this is actually kind of verbology, okay, words that pop up all the time among gamblers, okay? And, as a companion, yeah, it doesn't hurt to know a little bit of the difference. So what's going on here? All right. And so when you walk to a casino, you can recognize right away. Slots is the generic word for gambling machine. Okay. So hopefully you've seen slot machines. All right. So these are things where you literally put money into, you hit a button and you get a result. Okay. You've seen them on TV. If you have not seen it in a casino for whatever reason, you've seen it in movies, you've seen it on TV. All right. It is one of the first things people always show when they're trying to show a casino are these rows and rows and rows and rows of bright machines with wheels on them usually that spin. Okay. Those are slot machines. All right. And that's where the name comes from, is those. Now, there's some variation, but we'll skip over that for a moment. We'll come back to it. So you got the slot machines, and then you're going to have what are called table games. All right. And that's pretty much all you have in casinos are either slot machines or table games. All right. Table games are literally tables. All right. And there's usually a person behind them called a dealer, all right, who runs the game. All right. And the players usually sit around the table, all right, and the game is played. All right. So that's a table game. All right. Now, we're going to go in detail as we move through this series together about individual games and stuff like that. But that's sort of that broad class you can weed over. So I see slots, you know, usually big rows of slots. And then you'll see in the middle of all this, depending on your casino, you'll see these tables with people standing behind them, and those are table games. All right. There's a lot of range of different kinds of table games. We'll talk about some of those. There's a lot of different range of slot machines, and we'll talk about some of that too. All right. Now, just like everything else, guys, you know, when you talk about this, yeah, just like when we talk about investing and gambling, there is some kind of intermixtures between the two, right? They blur into each other sometimes, all right? So, for example, video poker. Video poker is technically a slot machine, all right? So when you go and you see these machines that have cards on them and you choose cards to play, you know, that's a slot machine technically. It's a gaming machine, so it's a slot machine. But most of the players, if you have a companion that plays video poker, they're never ever 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 going to want to be called a slot player. They are one because they're playing machines, but that's not how they see themselves, right? So to them, slot machines are something you don't make any decisions. You don't have to. It's not a skill game, whereas games like video poker, you have to make choices, so it's more of a skill. All right. So nonetheless, yes, those are machines, and probably, you know, the casino considers them slots. That's how they describe it in their financials. They consider it a slot machine. All right, but be careful how you use that word again, because you might offend your companion if you're not careful. So that's true. And in modern casinos, okay, table games, okay, may actually be a thing which are going away. Okay. Um, and that is because they are labor intensive. All right, you have to have a live dealer there, so then the casino has to pay that dealer. So just like everything else in life, okay, um, so fast food and you name it, if you're trying to save money in your company, what do? The answer is, yeah, you use technology to get rid of employees. Okay, we've all seen it in our lifetimes, and it's going to get more, especially in the casino world, which is modernizing slower than most things. Um, so what we are seeing, and what we're going to continue to see, is table games being turned into basically a slot machine. Okay, a gaming machine. Okay, these already exist. We're going to talk more about these sometime. In fact, as a casino companion, you may actually like some of these because the chance to play the games for relatively small amounts of money. But you'll see some of these table games get switched into electronic. We'll talk more about those as things move along. Okay, because you know we got a lot to talk about. You know, and I want you to run through there as we stop here today, guys. Yeah, you're a casino companion. It's okay. All right. So we're going to hang out together. Okay. We'll learn a little bit along the way. Have some fun. Tell a few jokes. Okay. Keep it clean for the most part. Okay. Uh, and yeah, that's going to be us. So we are Casino Companions. Okay. You want to get hold of me? Casino Companion at gmail.com. No S. Okay. And yes, we are on Facebook. Okay. So just look up Casino Companions. All right. With the S. All right. There's not much there yet, but there may be someday, and that's cool. All right. So, guys, once again, I am Doc B, and go out there, have a great time. I'll see you next time.